Hi everyone, and welcome to another vlog. Now in this one I want to talk about how my life changed when I moved from New Zealand to Canada. Now the weather is a bit depressing today, it's all grey and rainy. It's actually perfect for this video. And I'm still a bit sick, I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, I'm still recovering, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit off. So yeah, I've lived in New Zealand for about 2.5 years and it was everything that I ever wanted. It was my first time on a plane, first and foremost, and then it was my first time backpacking far away from home. I stayed in hostels, I visited so many different places, I met so many amazing people, and it was the best experience of my whole life so far. And yeah, when I first came to New Zealand, I stayed in a hostel in a town called Tauranga, and eventually I found a job there in a local restaurant just to save some money. And after a while I bought my first car, and then my traveling really started. My usual routine would be I will wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and then I will hop into my car and drive to some place that I want to visit for the day, and I will stay there for a few hours. Maybe I will spend the night in my car or just go to a different hostel, and then I will repeat the whole process again. So I was exploring the North Island of New Zealand at the beginning, and I saw so many amazing black sand beaches and volcanoes and hikes and mountains. And of course I went to every single filming location of the Lord of the Rings movies, my absolute favorite movies of all time, and that was probably the best part. So I explored pretty much the whole island for a few months, and then I booked a ferry to the South Island of New Zealand, and there I found a second job in a town called Blenheim. So I was there for a few months again, just working to save money on a local vineyard, and there I met these two German guys, and we became really close friends. So we decided that after our job is done, because it was like a 3-month contract, we would start traveling around the South Island of New Zealand. So we all bought GoPros, and one of the German guys actually bought a van, so we all stayed in that van, and we started traveling around the South Island. It was a 6-week long road trip, and we did so many amazing hikes and climbed so many amazing mountains, and we've been to pretty much every city on the South Island, and it was absolutely unforgettable experience. And honestly, looking back at it, it was probably the time when I was the most happy in my life, at least so far. So that was pretty much my life in New Zealand for those 2.5 years. I was a backpacker, I was staying in hostels, I was meeting new people, I was always outside, I was always traveling, I was climbing mountains and camping, and it was a life of complete freedom. I had the full freedom to do whatever I want and go wherever I want, and there was nobody to kind of stop me. I made all my decisions, and if I wanted to take some time off from work, I could do that. If I wanted to just quit and find a new job, I can do that as well. So yeah, but after 2.5 years I felt like I got really familiar with New Zealand, and it was kind of getting boring for me because I've seen the whole country. I know New Zealand better than my own country, by the way. So I decided it was the time to see something new, so I booked a one-way ticket to Vancouver, Canada, and that's where I am right now. So when I came to Canada, the first thing I noticed is how expensive everything is. Honestly, just a room in a house will cost you like $1,000 or even more. If you want to live by yourself, you can pay like $1,500, $2,000 just for like a studio, just for yourself. It's actually ridiculous. Oh, sorry, my hand is getting tired. This camera is really heavy. So it's really expensive, especially groceries and gas bills and all that. So I couldn't just find a job and buy a car and start traveling like in New Zealand. I had to find a job right away just so I can have enough money for my rent and groceries and everything. And after a while it became obvious that one job was not enough, so I had to find a second job just to cover my expenses. And I couldn't afford a car at the beginning, especially because you have to pay insurance for it every month, which is like $250 additional every month. So Canada is so big that I can't just get a car and start driving somewhere, because it takes a long time to get from one place to another. It's not like New Zealand. So yeah, when I got to Canada the first time, I didn't have much money with me, so I had to start working right away. And you can't really save that much money in Vancouver. As I said, you spend so much on your rent, on your groceries, on your bills and all of that. So you have to work 40 hours a week, maybe even more. And because of that, I didn't have any time for traveling. I didn't have any time to do anything, to be honest. That's why I didn't upload any videos for the past year. I only managed to do like a couple of small trips here and there, like to Roar Lakes or like Joffrey Lakes that are fairly close to Vancouver. So I didn't travel much in the last year, and that's really depressing for me. I started drinking again, so every Friday after work or Saturday I would go out with my colleagues and we would drink like all night, and I don't really feel good about it. It's not who I am anymore. I did enjoy spending time with my colleagues. They're really amazing people. Like most Canadians here are really nice, and Vancouver is like a big international city, so that's another positive side. But people here work so much, and I had to work so much just to cover my expenses, and honestly that's kind of depressing, especially because it's raining all the time and it's always cloudy and cold, and combine that with like 40-hour weeks, 50-hour weeks, it just becomes too much, honestly. I got stuck in that routine of just going to work and then going to the gym and then back home, and then on Fridays I would drink with my colleagues and then be hangover the next day. So it didn't make me really feel happy. I was like so free in New Zealand. I was really happy there because I was always out in nature. I was always hiking, climbing mountains, driving wherever I want to drive, sleep in my car. And here I feel like I'm stuck in that city life. Just every day feels the same, and it's not making me happy, to be honest. But this year I'm gonna change so many things. First, I'm gonna work 50-hour weeks at the beginning just to save as much money as I can, and then I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to take like maybe 6 or 7 weeks off, and I plan to go to Southeast Asia. So I'm going to do a big backpacking trip there and make lots of videos from it. Also, during the weekends, instead of drinking with my colleagues, I'm going to rent a car, and then I will spend the weekend exploring British Columbia before coming back to Vancouver. So that's my plan. I want to go to Southeast Asia, and I want to see as much as I can of British Columbia because it's a really beautiful province, and I honestly cannot wait to do that. So yeah, that's all from this video. There are so many good things about Vancouver that I didn't say. I was mostly focused on the negative sides, but actually I want to make another video talking about what I like and what I hate about Vancouver. But there's so many things that I actually like, but that's going to be for the next video. Thank you all for watching. Bye.